Michael,
Bobby D,
what's up, my brother?
how are we feeling this week?
Feel great, man. How about you?
Good week so far. Very good week.
You look good. First time I'm noticing a black T-shirt from you.
Yeah, I got a bunch of like golf shirts. Not that I play golf, but I got a bunch of golf shirts with the logo on it. So I figured I gotta sport them during work time. You know.
Bro, I like that. I've never seen this. First of all, why don't I have a fucking shirt? Like,
I gotta send you. I get those. These are old ones. I gotta get new ones made up. I get some made up for you.
so you telling me there's old shirts and I don't even have one of them?
Oh shit. These old. I get you a shirt.
Oh man,
You and these fucking shirts. Still like the T-shirt award. I'll give you a T-shirt award.
we used to be in a company where the guy said people will work
Kill
harder
for a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Well, I do that. I do that now. Like, I mean, look, I pick up a lot of. Are we on air or no?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Oh, I don't know if you. Sometimes you say, "Hey, we're going on air now."
We think it's just you talking.
I don't know, guys. Sometimes it's just me and you.
We have a grand total of fucking 6 people watching us right now.
Oh, it's awesome. But listen, by the next day, by tomorrow there'll be a couple hundred. So we'll see. But when business was flourishing, I was back in Hoboken. If you completed like 5 sessions with me, right, I'd send you a T-shirt because you have to earn it. You just don't wake up and get, oh, I might want the T-shirt. I want to buy one. No, you can't even buy one. You can't buy it. You have to train with me to get it. You have to earn it. So you have to do at least 5 sessions with me to earn that T-shirt. So,
It's so funny. We never planned shit, me and you, right?
Never. That's the scary part.
What?
Pushing up people.
This is crazy. This is the dude, right? Who used to get grown men, guys in their 40s and 50s, like fighting like mad to get a fucking T-shirt on the stage.
Right, I know. Well, I think it's huge because it represents that you completed something. You did something. Like, that's why I don't let anybody buy. Like, I could easily put a website up, and on a website I can sell T-shirts. I thought about doing that because everybody says, Mike, you got to merchandise, you got to sell stuff. I'm like, no. I want people to fucking earn it. I mean, I'm kind of weird like that. I'm sure I can make a couple bucks selling T-shirts, but I'd rather be like, you know what? You got to train with me 5 times. You got to earn it this way. You get a T-shirt. You're like, my God, I made it. I did it. I accomplished these sessions. And it's because they're not easy. Like training with me is not easy. It's funny. I just had a talk today with this girl that I'm training for about like 6 months now. Before training with me, she trained with a couple other trainers like back in Hoboken, and they were nice trainers, but like I said, nice trainers, right? There's different levels. So she says, I got to tell you, when I first started coming to you, I enjoyed coming to you. Now I get nauseous and I resent it. Like I get worried the night before. Really? I'm like, why? He's like, I felt a little. She said, because they're so fucking hard. I just don't know what to do. Like they're brutal. I said, yeah, but you understand, you progressed. When you first came in, we had this foundation where you at a bottom. And then I showed her the progression. So, for example, she was doing like a front squat with a dumbbell in front of her. It was like a 15-pound dumbbell. Okay. And when she first started, it was hard for her. Today, she did a 55-pound dumbbell. Wow. So that's a big level of progression. So she's looking at that saying, am I gonna keep going up? Yeah, you're gonna keep going up as long as your body's capable of handling. As long as you can handle a certain rep loads that I do and things that you do, I'll progress you every workout more and more. So I show all this progression. Like first started off, she was doing 10 push-ups. Now she's banging out 50 like it's nothing. This is a woman. She has 3 kids, super busy mom, doing her thing, training hard, and that's the thing is like you got to know how to motivate people in a certain way. Like I know my workouts are brutal. But at the same time, I will make them somewhat fun. I'll joke around and do stuff because you got to motivate people at the same token. So, it goes back to, nothing good comes easy type principle. Yeah. We look at where you are 6 months from now, but where are you going to be another year from now? And that's what stuff is like. People, and I tell her, I said, there's 2 people that are going to train. There's only like really 2 kinds of people that are going to train with me. People that need it. It's a necessity. It's a health thing that they have to do it, or people that really want it. People don't come to train with me, unfortunately, just to show up and say, hey, we're going to go for a nice fluffy workout. Yeah. They know that's not what I do. I don't know how to do that. I never did. I'm not making people throw up. Some people, but not too many. But time to hurl. We got to get another thing. But hey, you got it. That's part of life. Life is about going through those uncomfortable stages. And that's what I was trying to coach you, telling, I say, listen, I'm not training you just to train you to beat you up, but like anything you have to deal with in life, the stressors that you have to deal with, believe it or not, when you train like this, it will help you. Yeah. Because when you have to overcome small obstacles, they're not as challenging because you can handle, the toughness of whatever you have to deal with mentally, physically, emotionally. Yeah. It's kind of, we wrap it all at once because I don't just train them just to, hey, do these reps, I'm going to count these reps, but I am in their head mentally as well.
Yeah.
So I am digging at them. I'm trying to figure out what clicks. I had another girl today that, she kept on saying, what's the word we hate? I can't, right? Yeah. So, and she said it for the first, about like a month now. And I just lost my shit on her. I said, that's it. Unfortunately, she's nobody's ever talked to her like this before. I said, that's it. I'm fucking tired of you saying it. Actually, if you're going to keep saying this, I don't want to train with you no more. Don't get under the bar. Don't get doing exercises. If you're going to keep every time you turn around saying, I can't, because if you can't do this, then what other things are in life that you're copping out of? It's either you can or you can't. No, there's no such thing as I can't, right? We talk about that all the time. So I had to click that, and I said, and she wanted to train. It's not like she didn't want to train. She wants to get better. She does karate, but she just started doing karate, and her kicks are weak. And so she came to train with me for a specific reason. And then I wrapped it all together, why things are so hard and why things are challenging for her. She never did strength training before. So things are super uncomfortable for her because she's not able to do a regular squat or a regular lunge and have balance and stability. And she's like, why can't I do this? Because you've never done it before. But don't say you can, because if you're putting that out in the universe.
Yeah.
And I'm so big on like what you speak so loudly about yourself is what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Like if you put that negative out there all the time, I know I went on a little tangent, but the bottom line is you cannot talk bad about yourself. Yeah. You can't say I can't do anything. Don't say it's really hard. Man, I'm frustrated. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not able to. Those things are like sabotaging you. Like, what do you want out of your life, right? Where you want to go with your life is like, you want to be average and worry and just kind of coast through. Well, I don't know. I don't want to do that. And I try to and the people I train don't want to do that. So right. We have to elevate their game a certain level. And we talk about this, whether it's health and fitness, you talk about a lot with your finances and, it all comes together. It's all the same lingo. You're going to give up. Oh, the stock market's doing bad. Mutual funds are doing bad. Do you stop investing?
Right.
Or do you put more in because it's going to come up eventually? Or, or do you take it out because you're scared? Now you tell me, what do you do? Like, this is your field. How would you coach somebody in that end?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And again, we never prepare anything, but it's funny. I didn't even tell you this, but I did want to talk about that today because I do have clients. I've been doing financial stuff for 34 years now. And, I'm certainly not the top financial guy in the world. Me, I have a life. I do a lot of things. I don't spend 80 hours a week working and, trading and all that shit. But I do take an approach to stuff that I try to keep stuff really simple, because the more complicated you make it for someone, and this by the way goes for anything, as you know, if your workouts and if your process is really, really complicated, you're going to turn people away. It can be tough, but is it simple? Is it something simple to follow?
Easy to follow, but tough.
Yeah. So from a financial perspective, you hear this a lot from people, and it's true, and it's also not true depending on how you look at that. That's the thing. Finances are tricky. People say, well, if you look at any 10-year run in the market, I'm going to average, 7-8%. So I'm just going to leave it alone. And that's true if you're 40, 35. To me, under 50, that philosophy holds true. Like, leave it alone. You're not ready to retire for at least 10 years.
At least.
You'll be okay. If you're 55-ish, 60, 55 or over, you can't take that same approach because, Mike, who's to say, especially now, if your eyes are not like this right now to what's happening in this world.
Oh, without a doubt.
Bro, we have a fertilizer shortage in our country. But I don't know if you've noticed. Did you notice there's a baby formula shortage? Have you seen that latest news? There's a baby formula shortage in our country. Like, I don't know, babies might be important to keep around. I mean,
unbelievable.
We have a baby. Gas prices every day hit a new high.
Yeah, I know.
They hit a new high. We have all kinds of issues, and we don't have anybody in charge that you feel, oh, it's okay. We got a guy who's going to take care of it. Oh, you fucking kidding me? So, let me not.
I don't go. Yeah, don't go there. But like for example, like somebody like you hit the age group and kind of like shook me a little bit. I want to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Like for my age, 52. I look at my mutual funds and I fucking lost a ton. I look at my stock. Holy shit! I can't tell you how much I lost. Now don't look at it. I haven't looked at it in a week, but they were plumb. Like, what would you tell a guy like me like that? Listen, I'm not ready to. I want to retire in 10 years from now, and the way things are going, obviously that's fucking gonna be a problem, right? So I'm kind of a little bit scared. Like, what kind of advice would you tell me?
So this is the thing where the misconception comes in, and this is where I have these struggles with some of my clients because I have clients that are young.
You're coming in broken up. You came in a little broken up, bro. Sorry, a little bit.
Is it all right now?
It's okay now.
Try and see if it's another issue. You can hear me good?
I can hear you now. Yeah, your face freezes, but your voice is going.
Okay, nobody wants to see my face anyway. Let me just make sure I'm not.
Network.
I'm trying to close all my other apps to make sure, because sometimes that's what causes the freezing. But anyway, you can hear me good?
I can hear you good now.
All right. So from a perspective of age, depending on your age, right? If you're in your 50s, closing in on retirement, people don't realize that you could actually invest in some products that can protect them against a collapse. And meanwhile, they could stay relatively inside the market. Like they could still participate in gains if the market does well, but yet have very little risk on the downside. Now, most people don't know that. Most people believe that they either have to be all risk or they have to be all safety, and that's the challenge. And here's what happens to people. And I have a lot of clients who think they're smarter than, the market, and they'll buy and they'll sell. They do it all the time. The market tanks, they get out, and then they'll get back in when it goes up. I mean, how about we realize one thing in this world? I'm in this business 34 years. There's people on CNBC, MSNBC, Fox Business. They get it wrong all the time. No one knows what the fuck is going to happen. If you thought in 2008, if you remember 2008,
I remember very well. It
really was not, unless you were really in tune with what was happening. Mm-hmm. No one foresaw what was going to happen. Now, let me give you pre-2008. I'm in the industry. I'm living large. My clients are getting 20% return on all their shit.
I remember. I know.
I mean, I was sending people, getting people. Like I had a lot of clients who would get equity lines through Wachovia Bank. I had a buddy that was the Wachovia guy, and he was getting people equity lines of credit, Mike, on $50 fee. It didn't matter. All they had to do was be able to breathe. They didn't even have to prove their income, their house. They did a quick check. They were approved like within a day on $100,000, $200,000 credit lines. I mean, the market was just so, after 9/11, when we had a little bit of a hiccup, everything was back. So no one foresaw 2008. And yet look what happened. If you were in your 60s in 2008, and if you had $500,000 that you saved up,
right,
and all of a sudden it's worth 250, you're like, holy shit. Now, the argument is, well, it came back. Well, again, if you're in your 60s, you're in retirement, you're taking that money. You don't have the time for 10 years to come back. That shit has to be protected. And what I find is a lot of people, they have a very short memory. I'll have clients that things are going great. I say, yeah, they're going great. But that's the time to be proactive.
Right.
Too many people are reactive. So to answer your question in a long-winded way, I have a great product. It's a fixed index annuity from AIG. Comes with a 3% bonus. You cannot lose any value regardless of what happens in the market. And it's guaranteed lifetime income. Now, for protection purposes here, I make a full disclosure. There's a lot more to the program, so I can't act like I'm trying to sell that here. I'll get in trouble, right? But I'm just saying that there are programs where you can participate and potentially have growth with zero risk. And let me tell you something. There ain't a better time in the world than right now to be in something like that.
Right.
If you're in your late 50s, 60s, and you're unprotected in the market, it's basically you're going to a whorehouse and you're banging 4 or 5 strippers with no protection. It's basically, now, might you not get anything? Yeah, you might. But I don't know. Not recommended.
I want to take that risk. We ain't taking that risk.
So if anyone's in their 50s and is worried about their accumulation, forget about it if you're young. Because like you said, a key point, when you're young, who gives a shit what the market does? In fact, you don't even care if it crashes because you're putting into it every week from your 401, right? You're putting into it so the market's tanking, your money's going into low markets. It's going to come back. But if you're 55 years old and you got $500,000, do you want to see 2008 happen again? Because I got news for you. What's coming is going to be worse than 2008. And you have to be really blind to think differently. This shit is going to hit the fan in a big way. Our country's a mess. We are overspending. Mike, we have an 8.3% inflation. You and I were fucking 15 years old the last time that happened in our country.
Wow.
Yeah, we were 15 years old, bro. So I know we didn't plan this, but yeah, if someone's older with a nest egg, you should reach out to me because I have the program that if the market does well, you can continue to participate with some restrictions, but you can't lose anything. So that's my thing for a older investor. For a younger one, let it go. Let it fly. Put it in, a decent, like you say, a decent mutual fund. A lot of people
would you consider like me, 52? I'm older, so I don't know. Like that, I'm like right on the fence.
Good question. Now, I also would take into account the amount that 52-year-old has, and if it's like his big nest egg, like
freezing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know why. That's an internet thing with the freezing. Okay. So nothing I can do about it. Can you hear my voice though?
I can hear your voice.
All right. As long as the voice is going, if I freeze, it's no big deal. It must be a shitty internet night. So 52 years old. If the person's still obviously working, most of them are. Maybe we do a combo. I've done this a lot over the last few months. I'll take a portion of what they have and put it into the safe haven while telling them to continue to invest unprotected, right? So you're capturing the best of both worlds. You're protecting your big chunk. And then as you're putting in, if the market does tank, you're buying lower. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so for example, right now I'm looking at, you froze a little bit. Like now your voice is freezing too a little bit. Sorry, Bob. But the question I'm asking is like for somebody like myself, if I see that down low, do I keep putting money into that investment because it's going to eventually go back up, or what do I do? Like I just don't, like for me, I'm running scared a little bit too. Like if it's going to be worse than 2008, and I'm looking at I want to retire in another 10 years from now, like shit, is this going to fuck me up? Yeah. And then I was just looking at it was funny because I get all of these things all the time on feeds, on my emails and stuff like that. And I got this one thing, like you said, with loans. These people are giving me loans not even, no question. Hey, just fill this out and you'll get a loan for whatever you want. I'm like, I'm not, obviously I don't need a loan or anything. I'm not doing, but I can't be the only one that's getting the offers. And you can't pay back a loan. What the fuck's going to happen? Like what's going on with these that they're giving out, all these things they're doing? Like, I don't want to take anything. I'm afraid to even get on any program like that because I don't want to have to pay money back or lose tons of money. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like we don't want to go at it a cookie cutter approach. Like everybody's situation is different, right? So listening to you, obviously, you always want to do like a needs analysis with somebody. So basically, what you do is you say, all right, if I was meeting with you, I say, Mike, first things first. When do you want to call it quits? When do you want to hang it up? So you give me your age.
8 years.
So you give me that 8 years. I say, all right, so now show me what you got. Everything you got. So you give it all to me. I'll put this all on paper. Then what we do is we do an assessment of a basic what we can expect. Now, again, what you can expect and what happens doesn't always match, right?
Two different things, right?
Doesn't always match. But we base a reasonable rate of return over that 8-year period and what you can continue to contribute during that period. So we come up with, this is no different than what you do, bro. You do goal setting, right? You make a goal for what you need to do. How much additional do you need to put away to get to where you want to go? Now, you might say, oh, shit. Like you might be, and this happens a lot, by the way. Someone might, hey, you need to save, $500 more a month. And everybody's like, what? I can't do that shit. Okay, well, obviously you can't save what you don't have. So you have a couple of choices. Maybe do a side hustle to get the extra bucks, or let's analyze your budget. Right. Where can we cut a few bucks out? Go put shit down on paper. Everything you're spending, you may be able to find. You'd be surprised.
It's so funny. I got to tell you something. Before you go any further, I literally, again, finance, fitness, 2 fucking Fs, right? So this lady comes to me, like, Mike, listen, I don't know if I can train anymore. I don't know if I can afford it. Can't. I mean, my rates are lower than they were when they were in Hoboken, right? So I'm like, really? You can't afford it? I won't give my rates out right now. I said, but let me ask you a question. When the weekend comes, are you going to buy, how many bottles of wine are you going to buy?
Yeah.
You tell me you usually go through like 2 bottles of wine every weekend. And I'm sure there's other things along the way that you're doing that you probably shouldn't be doing. So listen, I'm not telling you not to drink because everybody likes a glass of wine. But however, if you have a problem that you can't even afford 1 training session, maybe you should really take a look at what you are consuming. Take those things that are not that important that you really don't need. Yeah, I want to have a drink of wine. I want to have that shot of tequila. But man, I need to get my ass in shape first. Or I want to have that case of beer, or I want to buy that case of wine, whatever you're going to have. But you know what? Shit, I need to save an extra $500 for my investment program. I believe every has the money in there if they really rip through what this shit really is. Like if you rip through if I go to somebody's house and look through their I'm guarantee you I can rip through that refrigerator and say, get rid of that, get rid of that. I guarantee if you come to my house and say, Mike, you said you can't have any money, but why don't you stop buying this, stop buying that, don't do this anymore. Now you just freed up $300. So you're $200 short of your goal, but hey, you know what? That's $300 closer than you were than before. So I'm like, then you have to make an honest call within yourself and say, you know what? I got to listen to Bobby. I don't want to fucking be, I like to enjoy my life. Yeah, but how can I enjoy my life when in 10 years from now, I'm supposed to retire? I'm not going to be able to retire. What's more important to me? This glass that I'm about to drink or whatever, or that bag that I want to buy, or those new shoes that I want to buy, or that jewelry I want to buy, or do I put that money towards an investment? And I really think people got to learn to live below their means. Like it's hard. Like I learned from my mom, my dad especially. My dad was on this. If you don't have the money to buy it, don't put it on that damn credit card. Like I don't have any credit card bills. I have no debt. Reason why? Because I'm afraid to have.
Yeah.
I'm so much fear that I'm gonna have this big chunk over my head that I'm not gonna be able to invest that I want to invest. So if I don't have the cash to buy something, buy it. Now I know a lot of people, it's hard for people to do that, but that's what people have to be trained to. They really have to really, especially as I'm older now. Like now, it's more important than ever. you know what? When you're in your 20s and 30s, talk about it's not important, man. I got all the time in the world. And I people right now, if anybody's in their 20s and 30s, you don't have all the time in the world because it's a blink. Because when I have all the time in my world, and guess what? Now I'm fucking 52, and I'm saying to myself, shit, time's running the fuck out.
Yeah.
The hourglass is going fast. I mean, 52. Like, look at anything after 70. Like, maybe I'll live to 75, maybe 85. Who knows? But that's anything after 70, they say is you're blessed, right? So that's not a lot of time. It's fucking 20 years, less than 20 years left, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not looking to scare anybody, but get your investments right because nobody wants to be fucking working it when they're 70 years old.
It's everything in life is priorities, right? So our priorities change as we go. Like when we're 20, the priorities are like, maybe might be the softball league that we're in, that's a priority. I can't wait to get to the soul, whatever it might be getting to the gym. And then all of a sudden you have kids and talk about priorities changing, right? Your whole life is no longer yours. Everything you do is connected toward your kids, and as you get, as you're at our age, I mean, you and I share the priority of health, and we go out of our way to invest in our health because we know what that means. We know exercise, eating well, and taking the right supplements. We know that translates to quality of life, and it doesn't. By the way, it doesn't guarantee it because we could still end up with something, right? The world is crazy. You and I both tomorrow can happen.
I know that.
Yeah. It can happen. But we
wake
also
up
know
cancer and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But we also know that we're increasing our odds of being not healthy by doing what we do. So it's a priority thing. So it's no different with investments.
Damn, your internet's killing us, Bobby D. Your internet's going down.
Yeah, that's all right. We're just gonna keep going because you were breaking up too.
You keep going. All right, I won't bother you. Yeah, break up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so there's nothing I can do about it. So just shut the fuck up. Stop bitching about me locking up and just follow along.
I'm doing the best, but you know what? You have some good fucking shit you're saying, and I'm like this. I'm trying to like dig into my AirPod. I can't stick my AirPods in fucking deep enough. I'm like, can you say that again? We're gonna have to do this fucking thing next week all over again. And we're never going to remember what we said. So it's going to be like, what the fuck do we talk about?
I can see
it's funny.
That's all right. So it's the priorities, right? So from an investment perspective, some clients will say to me, what do I do to save for my kids' college? And I laugh at that. And I'm not one of these phony people. I'm like, forget it. Like planning for college. I mean, colleges are fucking $200,000 for 4 years now. Like who's, when you have to start planning for that, Mike, when your kid's negative 10 years old. I mean, he's negative 10. So 10 years before the fucking kid's born, you got to start saving $200. Like, forget college. Let's talk about your retirement. Let's talk about your retirement. So, and your priorities change as you get older, and your objectives also change. Your investment objectives change. What you invested in when you're 25, 30, you might not be in when you're 50. That's why I say it's important to do a financial needs analysis. I do them for free. It takes 10 fucking minutes to gather the information. I can literally spit it out. I can email it to someone here. Here's your info, and then we can take a look at what they have and see if we can protect it. Right now, I'm in protection mode. See, one thing about me is I'm a risk taker in life on everything I do. You are too. We share that. But with my clients' money, I am a big pussy. I have no interest in losing any money with my clients. Now, again, my younger clients are going to lose value because they're in the market. And my older clients that are in the market, they're going to lose value as well. But for the most part, I'm encouraging any one of if I have a client that's over 50, I'm encouraging them all to at least protect a good portion of what they have, if not most, if not all. Good. So with you, I would take a look at what you have. I would probably put it in this program that I mentioned to you, and then keep your additional investing into the markets. That's what I would. But and there's also caveats. There's also restrictions. Like you can't have everything in life. You can't have a program. Wait a minute, you're telling me I can guarantee lifetime income, and I can't lose. What's the catch? Well, the catch is you got to keep it. You got to keep it locked up until you're 60. You can't touch it until you're 60.
Right.
So there's some trade-offs. So that's the lessons for today from Financial fucking Mike and Bob. That was pretty nice.
It's funny that you didn't have that plan, but I had that plan in the back of my head. I'm like, dude, so I looked at my stocks today and I'm like, holy shit, everything went down, right? Bank of New York, it went from 63, now it's at 40 something, it's a horrible. Yeah. My Nature Sunshine was at 18, 19, now it's like fucking 14, 15, not a big drop, but still a drop. My mutual funds, holy balls.
Yeah.
Man, they're but like I'm thinking, I was going to ask you tonight. I was like, hey, what do I do? Do I keep on investing because I know the shares are low right now? Do I buy it because I'm going to buy more shares and eventually it'll go back up? Because the track record of this fund says it goes back up in the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's scary because you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen.
That's the thing. It's an individual thing. Like I see clients every week. And there's no cookie cutter approach. There's no, hey, everyone should do this. No. Some people might put their entire portfolio in this program that I'm talking about. Right. Others maybe put 20% of their portfolio in it. So it depends on the situation. Everybody's got, it's a different situation for each person. But I'm happy to help. I've been doing this shit for 34 years. And honestly, people that know me, if you know me on Facebook, I mean, I'm going to shoot you straight. I hate to say this, but there's a lot of crooks in my industry. And I know
there's always been. It's horrible.
I don't want to say crooks. It might be a harsh, but there's a lot of guys in my industry that look at their commission first, their clients' needs second.
Yeah.
Bro, I've never done that. In my entire life, I've never sold one cash value life insurance policy.
But we learned that. You and I both learned that. It was like it's all about the person, the client, and people forget that.
I could have made probably 4 times the amount of money I made in my lifetime if I went that route. I still get recruited today to sell that. And now listen, I know we have some friends that sell that shit. Okay, whatever. To me, I can't do that shit. I'm not
can't put my head on a pillow at nighttime and sleep right.
I'm not going to do it. But
no,
to me, a lot of times people will say, show me what they have. And I'm like, you're good. And what do I owe? You don't owe me anything. You're good. If things change, I'll let you know. Some people will ask, can you take a look at my 401? Yeah, I'll be happy. And then, but that's the deal. So this really wasn't meant to be advertisement.
It's crazy how we kind of run our business the same. You give these free assessments, you give me free analysis. I always give a free assessment, always give a free service. I like to give it back. I just think it's just part of customer service, part of who we are. People always tell me, Mike, you can make so much more money. And you're right. Just like you just said, you sell a whole life policy, you could make more. But man, I gotta be good about what I do each day. I gotta feel happy. I gotta love what I do. I gotta feel like when that person I finish being that I'm with, they're gonna sit back and say, wow, that was an amazing experience, whatever the experience may be. And for you, the same thing. They're gonna sit back and say, man, because eventually, sooner or later, they're gonna know their own truth. They're gonna know that, wow, Bob took care of me. He probably could have ripped me off, but he didn't rip me off. He could have made more money, and he didn't make more money. Yeah. Man, he really cares about the welfare of me. So that gives you obviously more clients. And that's how I kind of run the same thing. I see shit all day long in my industry. I'm saying to myself, wow, how these people, how can they get over on and telling people how to train like this and work out like this? And it's so wrong. I mean, there's nothing that I turn on. I mean, out of 100%, there's maybe a 0.5% of the people that are talking actually know what they're talking about. And these guys might have good bodies and builds or whatever, but I'm like, man, they're not making any sense. And to the person that's blind that doesn't know it, it sounds good, but it's so far from what they should be doing. And same for you. Like, you come over, somebody sits across the table and sells somebody a whole life policy saying that, you know what, we're going to have a forced savings program. You're going to have all this money at the end of the rainbow. And I both know it's not true, right? So that's frustrating. I mean, you saw in the beginning, I don't know if you still see it today, but like when we first saw it, like when you got somebody in front of you and you can show them a better policy, you can show them a better way to save their money, and they don't do it, you want to shake them, like, dude, do you realize I'm not making a lot of money from you? I'm trying to help you. Yeah. And that's probably one of my most frustrating things in life, is because we run a crusade. We have so much passion for what we do. Yeah. You know, you with the finances, me with the fitness. It's so much passion, but you know, some people don't buy into it. Not that they're buying out bands, but some people got so burnt and so disillusioned and so frustrated for all the bullshit that's out there. They don't even know what to think or believe on their own. It's crazy.
But we learned also, some will, some won't. So what?
I like that one. I'm gonna take that one.
Yeah, we don't focus on the won'ts. Like the people that want our message. There's enough people that want our message. You don't spend. It bothers us, but it really shouldn't long term. Unless, especially people we love. I remember when I first got into financial business. I first got in, and you went right to family, and you know, with this new discovery in 1988. This new discovery about how cash value life insurance most people had, and they were getting ripped off. So you go right to your family, and your family's like, you're 20. Like, I think about it now. My son's 20.
I'm fucking 18. Me and you both were sitting across the table from like my football coach, like Lenny, so like all these people that we adults, like people our age now, and we're like,
that's my point. Like my son's 21, but the age I was when I got started, like. Would I listen to my son if I'm a 55-year-old guy and he comes into me to tell me about finances? And here I was, cocky enough to believe that my message, because I knew it, I believed, I had passion, the crusade, right? And I went in, and my girlfriend Jackie, you remember Jackie Leanna?
Yeah.
Her mom, I sat with her mom. And I shared the new information I had. I said, Mom, do you have life insurance? She said, yeah. And she pulled out like 6 policies, Prudential policies. And I looked at them all. And I was like, let me look at them. I'm just getting into this new business. And she let me look. And I took them back. I mean, you remember the old days. You took the policies
back.
You had to do the extractions, which were it was
Bob, I got these policies. What the fuck do I do with them?
Just thick. The analysis you had to run. And then I go back to her, and my trainer was a guy by the name of Bob Sisk. You probably remember him.
I remember Bob Sisk, yeah, from Colonia, New Jersey.
And she was like, I basically could give her double the insurance for half the money.
Right.
I think she had 25,000, and we could give her 50 for half the money, and she refused to do it. And I'd be like, wait a minute, what? Because the agent talked her out of it. So I was like, bro, I was steaming.
I remember we wanted to beat people up.
I was right. We just got out of football. So I said, have the agent come over to the house. Now, Mike, I wasn't even licensed yet.
You know what? I remember the story now.
I wasn't even licensed yet. And here I am in sweatpants, sweatshirt, probably a baseball hat. And here's this professional agent of 30 years, 20 years, sitting across the table from me. And he's, looking down at me, and I'm like this. And he's going through his shit. And I'm like, tell me how 50 isn't better than 25. Well, your company's been investigated, and but tell me why 50 isn't better than 25. And while you're at it, tell me why spending $100 is better than spending 50. Well, back and bro, he could not answer any of the questions.
Right.
Just they had their list of shit that they attacked. Attacked the company. Any investigations that it's almost like politics now, right? That's how politicians do. They don't answer questions; they deflect. So here I am, passion, sweat pits, everything coming out. And finally, my trainer came back, and he did all the right shit, listened, because I didn't know how to listen back then. I was just a long story short is she did business with us. And, 6 months later, her husband died. 6 months later.
Wow.
And I walked back into the house with a $50,000 check, as opposed to, she would have got 25. Now you say, oh, what's the big deal? It means, it's double what the fuck they had.
Right.
That was my first ever fucking training sale, Mike. So my belief level, Mike, right? That's where I got my crusade from. We talk about our
what happens to that? What happens to that forced savings program?
The forced savings program is, we know the deal.
Are you allowed to say it?
It depends on what kind of program you have. It could be, I mean, if someone dies, the cash value reverts to the company.
Back to the company.
Reverse, yeah, you don't get
so
both.
You don't get all that money that you thought you were saving. It goes back to the company, and nobody even knows about it because you're dead. It's too late. Nobody's reporting it.
There's a bunch of gimmicks in that, and the salesperson is trained to overcome them all with sweet talk. Oh, you're building equity.
It's crazy.
And it's going to pay dividends. Dividends are a return of premiums. And it's just, listen, there's nothing simpler when it comes to buy term
and invest the difference.
And if the argument is, oh, well, the market's going to, well, then invest the difference in a fixed indexed annuity. So this way, there is no law. You can't overcome in the long haul. You're 25 years old and you just started a family. You're going to buy a 35-year term policy. And over the course of that 35 years, you're going to invest in the market. And 35 years from now, guess what? You're going to be self-insured.
Yep.
Have enough assets where if you die, your family's got assets. You don't need life insurance anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's what people, but
it's funny. I had this guy that I worked with in the fitness industry. He was like a salesperson as well, and he sold life insurance. He says, Mike, I got to sit down with you. I haven't told you this. So obviously I know the whole spiel. So I'm like, you know what? Let me have fun with this. I'm gonna have fun with this. So he's sitting there. He's giving me the whole spiel. I said, so what about the whole life? What about the forced savings program? Like, it's gonna go back. If God forbid something happens to me, this money that you told me is gonna be mine. Is gonna go back. My family's never gonna see it. It's gonna be too late. And he starts trying to sweet talk me, and I shut down. And this is when I'm mid-30s. So yeah, I think I have a chip on my shoulder now. It was even a bigger chip then, right? So I said, if you fucking lie to me one more time, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking gut you right fucking here. And I swear. And I had the Ginsu knife right there. I'm not even fucking with you. I will fucking. I put the knife on the table. I said, tell me right now. I want you to fucking be honest with me because my wife was with me. Maria was with me. I want you to fucking tell her that you're lying right now. Because I swear to God, I'm losing my shit in about 2 seconds. And I don't give a fuck. Because I've been to jail. I'm about to go back. And she's sitting there like this. She's like, yeah, he did. He just got out of jail. So he's like, his face turned white. And I'm like, tell her right now, you're fucking lying. He's like, well, it would be better if you had your turn. Dude, it was the best. It was the best night of my life. And she was like, I finally was like smart in her eyes for like 2 minutes, and then I said something else, and I was stupid again.
Bro, that's a sick story, man.
Yeah, it was a fun night. It was a fun night because she actually thought I was smart for a little bit, and then I fucked it up like about 2 hours later, and I started talking, saying stupid shit. She said, "You're stupid. Shut up."
Oh man, yeah, the passion, right? We do shit with passion.
We do. That's what it is. Like people say, oh man, sometimes you yell too much or you get excited. I get so excited. Sometimes I do yell. I get that from wherever, maybe Italian upbringing. I don't know. But you get so excited because you know what you know, and when you know what you know, you believe it with a passion for it, and that just goes for anything in life. Like people say, if you're trying to find what your niche is in life, find something that you have that burning desire. Man, make sure you do what you love what you do, and just go out there. Don't worry about the money. The money's gonna follow you. If you do it wholeheartedly and you do it with the passion and you do it from your heart, you're not going to go wrong. I see too many people stuck with doing things that, in jobs and careers, and they make tons of money, but these people are fucking miserable. And I'm like, is it really worth it? Is, another $15,000 a year? Maybe it is for you. $20,000 is for you. But man, wouldn't you be more happy doing something that you really enjoyed? Because you only hear from a flicker. And I think about this even, but the climate that we live in. Do you realize that 70% of the time it's fucking nasty weather around here? cold. I mean, I'm not a big cold, but I hate the cold. Cold, rainy. You know, it's just starting to get nice now. It'll be nice for a little bit. It's gonna be second week in May, nice. June, July, August, then it starts getting cold again. And we're gonna deal with cold from September all the way up until now again. So, this is your life.
Yeah.
So you got to remember half of your, maybe even 3/4 of your life is in bad weather climate around here. So at least go to work and do something you like doing. Enjoy it. Enjoy some aspect of your life. I just think people are just pissing their lives away, and they're gonna sit back in their easy chair, laying back, and say, "Fuck, why did I do it this way?" Just do it now. Just go for broke. Make sure you enjoy your life.
Not only that, not only are they pissing their lives away, but the unhealthy ones. So now they get to their whole life they've been doing shit they don't like. They're unhealthy. They're out of shape, and now they're in their 60s with diabetes and heart issues. Guess what, man? It's over. Like
it is.
It's like your rest of your life is you're going to be
in fighting hospitals, and you're fighting for just life to breathe. I mean, that's not what your golden areas are for.
It's really sad. You brought up a point. I go back to the book because I always try to pick every now and then. I don't reread it over, but he's got all kinds of. I just happened to open up. Can you see that?
Become a Crusader.
I just like to look at his like some of his stuff. Freedom with responsibility.
That was fun reading, man. We did a lot of studying, dude. It was a lot of time.
Thing I want to touch on it because his thing was his formula, right? He goes, "You want to be a success in life?" He goes, "Here it is." He said, "You beat 50%."
Say it.
By working hard. Yeah. He said because half the country doesn't know how to work hard. So you're going to be 50% of the people by working hard. So okay, good. You beat another 40%, he'd say, by doing what's right all the time. He said because there's people that work hard, but they cheat, they cut corners, So you work hard and do what's right all the time, you're in the top 90 percentile. Yeah. And then, you remember what he said about the other 10%? Do you remember?
It's a dogfight.
The other 10%
is a dogfight.
They want it just as
bad as you do.
And who's got right? So yeah.
And that's all you think. I'm 10%. 10%.
10%. The dogfight.
The dogfight.
That's what you and I feel like that we're in that. We're in the dog. We work hard. We do what's right. I mean, no one. By the way, we're not perfect people. You mentioned you in jail. I probably should have been. Like we ain't perfect, and we ain't never.
Nobody's perfect.
We're gonna make mistakes every fucking day. But you know what? In life, generally, we work hard, we do what's right, and we are in a fucking dogfight. We want the peace. We want that top.
Right.
And the way to get there is to
push
people up.
Put up. And listen. I'll tell anybody, all these kids that are going to college, and we talk about college savings. College to me, unless you're going to be a doctor or an attorney of some sort, something like that, it's not worth the paper it's written on. We talk about that. What these kids need to learn is get that book that we know is the best book in the world you can buy to first start off, is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That is a staple on how to deal with people. You got to learn how to win friends and influence people. You read that book, it's going to open up doors in everything. You can apply that to any aspect of your life, whether it's relationships, your finances, just overall relationships with people. And then, the power of positive thinking, Norman Vincent Peale, you want to do that? Fuck yeah. Dude, I got you. It's the best. I love it. Dude, that's your Bible. And then obviously the best thing you've ever told me to do was the 16 Laws of Success.
Ooh.
And I got those back-to-back books. Ooh. I know you're looking for them. I got them, highlighted and all. And you know what? That is something that you got to read all the time because you may forget it. Look at he's scrambling. I got them all hot and bothered. Look at
this one.
Big. That's another one. Yeah.
The magic of big. People don't realize, people say, "Oh, you brainwashed." Yeah. By the way, you're getting brainwashed every fucking day. Whether you,
my God.
How are you washing your brain? Would you like to wash your brain with positive shit or negative shit? Now, I'm guilty of it because I'm political. I'm involved in, I'm passionate about politics.
Yep.
unfortunately, there's no way around it. I'm getting fucking fed negative shit now. I know how to process it. Sometimes I'll go a little too far. I need to recheck myself. But the fact that we're putting this type of shit into our heads, I mean, it's no matter what age, no matter what you do for a living, you should try and put some positive shit into it. And you know, reading novels is good and all that shit, but man, read some of this stuff. It's so, like you said, that had
you read that kind of stuff. If I could give anybody advice, you read that stuff and you shut the fucking TV off and the media off. And you know what? What's going on in the world won't affect you as badly because you're going to come with a different frame of mind. Because let's face it, they're trying to fuck with your brain. You know, I just got an email. I don't know how to even address it from my daughter's school. They're saying, there's another roar of fucking COVID. I'm like, do you realize it's 99.5% of that thing is fucking bullshit? There was no such thing. Like, the data's out now. You got to search a little harder, but the fucking data's out. Do they realize that, yeah, there was a virus, there was a cold. There's no different cold from any other cold. I'm sorry. I'm fucking done with it. You know, they want people to wear the fucking masks again. It's out of control because they want to put these mandates in effect to control us. Right. Why don't people see this? What is it that they want to? Is that you want to be controlled? I don't want anybody. Nobody's ever going to try to control me if I can. You know, that's again, you know, the free enterprise system. That's trying to be an entrepreneur. Like, you look at all these entrepreneurs, and I'm not saying just myself, because obviously you know what happened to me. But you know how many entrepreneurs are out there that came into this country to build a business, and this fucking government shut their shit down and really wasn't able to get, like, yeah, I'm getting back. Right, God, and it's God's will. That's all it is God's will that got me here. I praise God every day, because if it wasn't, because there's no other way I should be making it right now. You know, I don't have a storefront. I'm building everything out of my business. It's fucking one at a time. I'm knocking down doors. But for everybody else out there that's suffering, that started a business, that thought that they were going to be like their little hub of the world, like their little piece of the pie, and the government takes them away because they want to control you. Yeah. When are we going to stand up and say, no, I'm not going to stay for it anymore? Yeah. But you have a lot of fucking mealy mouths that just like, I'll wear the mask again. Yeah. And I'll fucking go. Listen, because you told me to do it. Dude, seriously. Yeah. It's fucking sad at this point. I can't do it. Like, I don't know how to address this email. I have to sit back. I have to do the little Abraham Lincoln thing. Let me sit back for the day and think about because maybe I don't want to ramble on, because my daughter still has to go to this fucking school, and I don't want to say anything that might hurt her as well. But I'm tired of it. I don't care if a fucking kid got COVID and got sick. The kids get sick all day long. They have strep throat. They have everything. Stop. Just go to school. Just be normal. Let's be fucking normal and stop talking about it. Enough is enough.
Bro, it's all about control. It's all about
it's all about control. They want to take your. Bob, listen, I can't tell you how well I was doing.
I know. When
they shut down your business and take it away from you, it's almost like, what the fuck? Like, and not give you an opportunity to come back. Now, that's me. How many restaurants did that I see restaurants close down? Like, these fucking poor guys that this is a family business. They have to shut it down.
Like,
no,
forget that. People. Forget that. You're talking about how many deaths, how many depressions, suicides.
Oh my God.
The kids going into, anxiety. You're talking about they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. The whole thing was designed to get the other fucking guy out, to insert this motherfucker into the program, and then run their fucking propaganda bullshit. And they're still doing it. They're doing it. Prepping you for the fall. They're slowly telling you there's going to be a new wave coming out, because what they want to do is they want to do the mail-ins again, so they can get away with the.
But you know what else I noticed too? What else I noticed too? When they stopped talking about, I don't know if anybody realized this, when they stopped talking about the fucking virus all the time, what other did they start? Now they started fucking talking about racism and all this other bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like they want to pick a topic that's going to ignite the middle America. And that's what the sad part is. All right, they stopped talking about the fucking virus. Now they're going to throw in fucking all those things that's going on with racism. But why? It was never a fucking we know it was always there, but it's never a big topic. And now they bring it on the forefront, and now they're making people fucking angry at each other for no reason, because they want to control us. They want to manipulate us. They want to show us that they can, and they're fucking loving it. They're dancing around us like puppets, and nobody's fucking cutting the strings. Cut your string.
Yeah. Well,
Cut your string.
There's a wake up. They used COVID to get what they wanted, and they got it, but they went too far. When they started to fuck with kids in the schools, they started to fuck with wait a minute, the same people that scream "My body, my choice." You're now telling me I have to get I got to put an unproven medicine in my body. I thought you were about my body, my choice. Like what?
Well, how about the curriculum that they're coming out with for next fucking fall for the kids? How about the curriculum that they want to talk about?
Bro, I think I was in 8th grade when I learned about fucking sex. Maybe 7th. I didn't know, like fucking 3rd graders learning about sex. Get the fuck out of here.
They're learning that if you don't feel comfortable, that maybe you should be another gender. Like, no.
Yeah.
Stop putting these fucking thoughts in these kids' heads. That's why our kids are all fucked up.
We don't have anything.
Because they're putting thoughts in your head. If the thought was never there, then you know what they should be doing? They should be worrying about fucking watching Scooby-Doo. They shouldn't worry about that shit.
It's great. The other side's got an agenda that's scary, and it's going to cost them. Thankfully, it's going to cost them. But at what damage? The country may not be recognizable in 3 years. It really might not be.
You know what's scary?
Here's what let me say it with you, because you said a key thing. The United States of America is not a racist country. Okay, now that doesn't mean that racism doesn't exist, assholes. To anybody that wants to fuck, well, I know this fucking guy down the road. It's not overall a racist country. It's not a homophobic country. Most of us don't give a fuck whether if you want to grab a set of balls or a vagina. We don't care. It doesn't bother. I don't look at a fucking gay person. In fact, I'll openly admit if a gay guy doesn't hit on me, I'm going to say, hey, what the fuck? I'm not good enough for you. Like, what's up? Well, how come you never fucking like, that's how I am. Like, I don't, I love gays. I love you all. Don't push your shit. Don't push your religion shit on me. I don't give a fuck about your sexuality. I don't push my sexuality on you. And by all means, racism, get the fuck out of here. How many people in America walk out on the street and see someone of a different skin color and say, I fucking hate him? It just doesn't fucking exist, man. But the media has created it, and the media has enhanced racism. And unfortunately, this is what happens. What happens when you have this is the reverse of what they think is good, and it ends up causing more racism. When we see thugs. Now, by the way, what color is a thug, Mike?
Any derelict.
It doesn't have to, right? It's a question, because everybody right away, thug is racist. Well, fuck you, thug is racist. A thug is a fucking...
Actually, if you want to think back of thugs, let's bring this up. One thing. I got one thing. You want to bring a thug? Let's go back to the fucking 20s and 30s when the gangsters were around, real gangsters. Real fucking Italian mobsters.
Right.
Were in. Right. Those were thugs. So there is no skin color, because the thugs today aren't really real thugs. Let's sort it out there. The guys in the 20s, 30s, 40s, those guys in the 60s, 70s, those were thugs.
So what we look at now in this country. So here's what's happening. This is where the fucking media has enhanced racism, is stoking racism. So we see a crime, and the media sees a crime committed by a white person, and they love to promote it, especially if the crime is committed against a black person. The media is all over that shit. And boy, if it's a cop, wow, do we have it, right? Crazy. And then, because we're educated and we watch all media outlets, we'll witness thugs, right? Fucking looting, stealing. And guess what? Some of them might happen to be black, Mike. So now that same media organization will not cover that. They will not, because it's racist to cover that. Well, listen, fuckheads. By you not covering equally, like robberies, fucking crimes should not be fucking color-based. It should not be based on, well, let's see which party who committed the crime. Let's see what skin color. No, right. You fucking and this is what happens. So they suppress the opposite color crimes. They only show the color crimes that they like. And guess what that does, Mike? It increases racism. Because now what you're doing is you're doing shit that it's not fucking biased. I mean, I'm sorry, it's biased. You're not fair. You're not covering the fucking equal grounds. And this is what happens in the country today. And that's why, and by the way, it's politicians. Politicians in the media, they drive the
let's say they're the real thugs.
They're the real fucking thugs.
They are the real thugs. You look at the most politicians are the real fucking thugs.
I don't know if you noticed, we just sent $40 billion more where we're going to Ukraine. 40 fucking billion. When I just told you we have a fucking crisis in this country, we can't get baby.
Can somebody throw me a fucking mill?
We have, I believe, I don't know what the number is, maybe 19 million fucking starving children in our
crazy. Did you see the other one? I just saw on the news. They had to throw away a fucking truckload of avocado because they couldn't get them because all these fucking regulations and they couldn't pay. It was ridiculous. So you're going to throw all this food away where people are starving in this country, but they couldn't get it through certain customs. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Fucking mess.
It's a fucking mess.
The country's a mess. But anyway, we have a few people that joined us tonight. Kim Sosha, how are you, Kim? It's good to see you on here making some comments. Jen Fish came on. Her son is one of the best fucking pitchers in college baseball. He pitched at Huntington and Central, the hat I'm wearing.
Oh, wow.
2019. He's plays for NGIT. He's having a fucking terrific season. So hello to you, Jen. And who else came on? That was it. Well, we had, those are the people that commented tonight.
Well, we usually get comments the next day because people tune in the following day. You get people. You've got it. I knew you were shuffling. I knew you were shuffling.
Greatest fucking book ever written, this book.
Yeah, it is.
By the way, this book was written in the 20s, bro.
I know.
And do you know, like, it absolutely needs no fucking new edition. It doesn't need any, like, modernization. This now I don't think you can get it like this anymore. This is like the original fucking Bible version.
I got it.
You do.
You told me to get it. I got it.
This fucking book is all it covers. That you talked about how to win friends, pushing up. It's all in here. In the 1920. And for a quick story, Napoleon Hill was in college and he got the assignment to interview.
Yes, I know.
And he said to Andrew Carnegie, "What's the secret to your success?" And he pulled his pen out, and Andrew Carnegie said, "You really want that answer?"
Right.
And he said, "Well, yeah." He said, "Okay. Well, how bad do you want that answer?" And he's like, "Well, I would really like it." He said, "Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Rather than me tell you, I'll get you interviews with dozens of successful people all over the country. You got to pay your own way to go to talk to them. I'll just get you the interview. I'll do the introduction. The only thing you got to do is when you're done gathering all this information, put it in a book." And that's the fucking law of success. 20 years of fucking study. Highly successful people.
Well, I got to tell you, that's the Bible.
That is. It's the Bible.
I know.
Look at that.
Bible. It's the Bible. It's the Bible. And you know what? And you hear a lot of gurus out there and everybody talking and they sound great. You might need that inspiration, but you only need the one book. I'll be honest with you. Like, I never really got into a lot of reading. I'm not a big reader, nor do I'm going to listen to a lot of podcasts about people telling me how to, get to the next level, because we did all the groundwork. We know how to get to that next level in our own lives and what really makes us successful. And I just try to tell people, master that one book and you won't need any other thing. Read it over and over until you become that person you want to be.
Yeah.
So too many people I see, they'll listen to this podcast. Oh, did you hear that? They'll listen to another podcast, but then they won't take action.
Yeah.
Once you read something, it's about taking action. Yeah. You can read and listen. You can listen to us and be motivated by what we say, but there is no action behind what you're doing. Yeah. You'll never get there. You'll fall flat and you'll just feel good. I listened to that, I read that, felt so good. That podcast made me feel so good. And you go to bed and you wake up and you get the cup of coffee and the day starts all over again. Like, no, you got to react to what you just listened to.
It's a great point. And he talks about that. It's 13 different chapters.
Yeah.
And I think he studied over 100 successful men and women and took the common denominator in each of them.
Each one of them.
In that book. And it is, like you said, it's the most phenomenal book ever written on planet Earth. That's it, brother. I think we did good tonight. I'm talked out. I had enough of you.
I never have enough of you, big guy.
Except when my fucking voice is freezing. That's when you got a little.
Now you sound great.
Yeah, because the show's over.
Can you do everything all over again for me?
No. Love you, brother.
You look like you're going to sleep. You look like you're about to go to sleep. Tired?
Yeah, I'm fucking tired. I'm old. It's almost 10 o'clock.
I know.
You stay up.
I know. Z. Wait, is Z getting hit up anymore?
Z?
Yeah, is she getting hit up anymore?
I think she's coming in tomorrow.
All right, very good.
Got a big party to go to.
Because I saw. I'm not mentioning any names because I made a promise to you not to mention names.
Oh,
but I saw the person posting pictures about him and his beautiful wife, and I'm saying to myself, this is hysterical. I can't. I'm just like every day. Like after you said that, I saw like 3 posts of him and his beautiful wife, and I'm saying to myself, this motherfucker's hitting up my boy's girl. I'm like, what the fuck?
That was a great show last week, wasn't it?
Dude, that was because now I see his like I see him on Instagram, right? I see him on Facebook. Like, he follows me. I follow him. I didn't know, but now I see him. I'm like, that's fucked up. He's got his wife over there. Hey, honey.
Enough, because I know you got a loose lip. You'll end up saying his name.
I know.
He's got a lovely wife, and she doesn't know he's a douchebag.
No. Oh my God! Did you see that big trade that the Cleveland Browns did?
Cleveland Browns. Who'd they trade?
I'll talk to you later about that.
All right.
You see that?
All right. I'll see you later.
How me offline?
You got it, brother.
Peace.